questions? Any comments?
Hi, this is Tetson from Future Africa here in University of Pretoria. Yeah, thank you so much for the wonderful presentations, both from Dr. Eric and now from Ms. Matshidiso here. I just have a question for Matshidiso. Given the financial implications that come with robotics, because I've started a robotics course here to freely distribute to kids from various so-called quintile 1 to 3 schools. And the financial implications that come with it are not so easy. So what do you think is the approach for schools to implement the plan that you have presented? Because it's a very wonderful plan, and practically it can solve so many things that are happening in the classrooms, and also just uplift some of the learning situation really in our classrooms. But financially, how do you think we can tackle it?
Okay, that's a difficult one in terms of finances, but in most cases, when we teach them the robotics, before we can even go to the stage where they need to assemble them, that's where the financial element becomes sticky. Before they can start assembling and all of that, we first teach them how to think the robot should behave. So they must first learn how to code, which is reasonable enough. It can reach every child. But then when they get to a stage where they now need to design their own robots, they need to build their own robots. I guess by the time we get there, we would have maybe managed to source funding from somewhere so that they can get to that stage. At the moment, we need to show them that it's doable, that they can code a robot.
Wonderful question. Thank you. Any more questions? From my side, I would like to say that it is seems to be good practice in teaching, that you get teachers involved, learners involved in very hands-on work and in real life, solving real life problems. And then you've combined that with some 21st century skills, as you call it. Yes, Sharanjit, welcome. You're on mute.
Okay, I'm not on mute now. Good morning, everyone. What a brilliant presentation. Thank you, Matshidiso. Please, may I request that recordings be made available to everyone? Is that a possibility?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
and it will all be on the website, on NSTF's website afterwards. And yes, please, everyone, do have a look. We'll have recordings of the presentations and the slideshows as well with the speaker's permission.
And the second thing is, as I'm sure lots of colleagues will be aware, that as Math Center, we work mostly 99.9% in very disadvantaged schools. So if Matshidiso or any of her colleagues are able to offer any free services, particularly when we run a campaign called Youth Squared, Daring to be Different. We do coding ourselves, we do robotics as well, but it's nice for an external speaker to come and motivate our learners. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sharanjit. To Bella Nkuwana.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to ask Matshidiso, this is a great presentation. I like that it's practical, learners learn by doing. My question is, have they tried to talk to the Department of what is this? The relevant departments that DSI and basic education and any other department that can collaborate and make sure that this is distributed throughout the different schools, because I think there's a financial challenge, as Matsidi so indicated. So anyone who would want to adopt it will obviously encounter financial concerns. So I don't know if there's anyone here, or if Matsidi can answer that, if the department has tried to adopt this, and if so, what is the what has there been any impact in its adoption and use? Thank you.
Yes, good question. Matsidi, so would you like to answer that?
Yes, I will first like to answer Sharantit. Yes, we can definitely avail ourselves. And Jansi, you are more than welcome to share our presentation online with everybody who wants it. And then when it comes to Thobela, we have not approached the department yet because we are applying this in one of the schools. So sometimes you first do it and let others see and they will follow suit. So as soon as we have made an impact at Centurion Primary School, as well as we have two schools that we are working with, and the other one is Gideon Rambuani, somewhere in Klepfontein, whereby we teach kids how to apply the skills. And then the other thing, which is the from the education point of view, will wait. They will first see the impact, I guess. Then they will come on board. Then we'll approach them. At least we'll have a reference site on our side. And there was one of the things that was on the questions that you asked, to say, how do we motivate learners in grade 9 to choose science and art, science and maths? So the motivation for those learners in high school, if they can see what maths can do for them in real life, and if they can see what science can do for them in real life, they will definitely consider to take those subjects, because at the moment they are presented as hard subjects that are not easily that cannot be easily be achieved by any child. So we're changing the perspective here to say, let every child be able to see the potential in them.
Thank you very much, Matsidi. So, Sharon G, do you have another question?
Not a question, but just a response to the DBE story. We did go, myself and one of my senior managers for high school, to make a presentation to the DBE. And we did request that the way we put robots in schools, we use Lego EV3 in great detail, because it really does work and kids love it, but it's expensive. It's now 8,000 Rand for one kit. And we were told that funding is their greatest difficulty. And if we can raise funds, then they will support us.
Thank you for that. Yes, I think it's very difficult bridging that fund gap. But it does seem like the best way would be to share resources. So in the center and in other science centers, it would
Absolutely.
be good if people could collaborate and use the same resources.
That is absolutely the best way, that we cooperate and collaborate with each other. We come together to reach as many disadvantaged students as possible. And it may be not an acceptable thing to say, but COVID-19 ended up being a gift to the Math Center, because we had to go online, we had to raise funds, and colleagues would be amazed how kids just, it's like duck to water. They take to online, they take coding immediately, they come up with their own ideas. So I'll encourage all colleagues to please get together. And if you have funds, adopt a few schools, particularly disadvantaged learners. Let's just do it. Let's just get it together. waiting for the DBE to do it, funding is a huge, huge problem for them.
Right. Thank you very much for those comments, Sharanjeet. And thank you very much for the presentation, Tshidi. That was really outstanding.